Survival Kid, and on this episode of Survival Necessities, we are gonna be talking about the life-saving paperclip. So you're lost in the woods. First thing you need to know: where's north? Now I know the ancient Chinese invented a compass that floated on water. So I'm gonna pull out my nifty little paperclip and unbend it all the way. Okay, so now I'm going to take my leaf and just put it in the water so it floats. Then you take your magnet and your paperclip and rub it vigorously both ways. Then you're going to flip your paperclip over and do it again. Okay, so, and I'm going to put my paperclip on top of the leaf. So now I know that which way is north. I can make a sundial out of the paperclip so I can tell what time it is. Okay, so now that I know where north is, I can tell what time it is. So, since I know that way is north, I can mark this as being 12 o'clock. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now I know that it's 5 o'clock. Okay, so now that I only have a couple of hours left of sunlight left, I know I need to get started on a fire. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a slightly larger paperclip and a D battery, like in a flashlight, which you can replace later using another paperclip. What I'm going to do is I'm going to unbend this paperclip and put it on the negative side and the positive side, and take like a common hair tie and just stretch it across to hold it in place. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of tissue and I'm just going to wrap it around the paperclip. And sooner or later, that paperclip's going to get so hot from the charge of the battery that the paper will light. So, once this paper's lit, all I gotta do is get it onto the fire. So now I have shelter, I have fire. Let's say that fire goes out in the middle of the night. What do I do then? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this A battery, this AAA battery, AA battery, and I'm going to take this flashlight out of this light bulb out of the flashlight we use to get the D battery for fire. And I'm just going to take 2 paper clips and put them on the flashlight, on the bulb, and then you're just going to put it on the 2 sides of the battery, and there's your flashlight. So now I have shelter and fire and light, and I know which way is north, and I know what time it is because of paper clips. But so now, before the sun goes down, I want to get some food going. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a paper clip and bend it into a fishhook shape. Then I'm going to take some fishing wire I found, and attach it to this paper clip. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my worm and I'm going to stick my paper clip right through there. Okay, let's go see if it works. Well, I'm lucky I'm near water this time. I got a big fish now, so let's go cook him up. I think I found a way to cook my fish. So I made this little barbecue grill. All I gotta do, put it across the fire. Okay, so I'm just gonna stretch this thing across, cook my fish on it. So down at the lake, I gathered some water in this old tin can. And then I took a paper clip and stuck it through the side. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take more paper clips and just link them together to make a little handle for me to boil this water in so it's safe to drink. I'm going to put some force onto it to get it through. So, now that you have this, let's see, I can use this. All you need is this stick. So now I have a way to boil water. So all I gotta do is put my water in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just put this stick in here so I have a way to not burn myself. And basically, while that's boiling, go do some stuff. Then I'll come back and just pick it up, and now I got good water to drink. So what if you're not near water? This time I was lucky enough, but say I'm out and I get stranded in the desert. What I'm gonna do, so I can't go fishing for food because there's no water. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the stick and a paper clip, and that soft stuff in the stick is soft enough for you to just plunge a paper clip in there. And now you can easily grab grubs to roast over the fire. I see one. Anyone for raw grub? That's what I thought. So what I'm going to do with my little grub grabber, I'm going to just take my grub, which is stuck on there, and roast them over a fire that I made with my battery paperclip contraption. Okay, so I have fire, I have food, I have water, and I have light. And oh yeah, I got shelter. But this wind tells me there's a storm coming through, and I noticed there's a rip in my tent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my fishing wire from my fishing pole, and I'm going to tie it around the end of my paper clip. So now I just unbend this paper clip, and using 2 scraps of material, we're going to take, it's got to be porous fabric for it to work, but, so we're going to stick this paper clip through, then we're going to go through the other piece, and just pull it through. Okay, and then just do that. Just do that a couple times. And now, My tent is patched. Okay, so say sewing doesn't work. Another thing we can do is take a paper clip and unbend it to make just kind of like a crude circle or like a triangle. Put one end through this material and then kind of move it around and then put it through the other material and then just bend it so it doesn't come out again. You can even put it through one more time if you want. And there we go. Then just do that on here, maybe in the middle and on the very end. And there you go, it'll hold. So in the process of getting water and food, I ended up hurting my finger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a paper clip and unbend it, but leave one end bent so it can fit around my finger. And then with whatever you have left of the material, you're going to take both your fingers and wrap it around to keep that splint in place. So, on my way back from getting food, I happened to get a little lost. And thanks to my compass, I found my way back. But to avoid that problem again, you can use paper clips as place markers. So all you have to do is unbend them, or you don't even have to fully unbend them. You can just bend them like that, and then just kind of lay them down in a place you'd see them, and point them where you want to go. So if I'm over here, getting lost, while I'm going, I can just kind of point this back to where my tent is, in a place where I can see, so like a little flat patch. So when I'm trying to find my way back, I see the paper clip and know to go this way. There's one more thing I want to show you to make. A raccoon trap. So basically you take your can, just a tin can, and stick paper clips in them and angle them downward. And then what you do is you drop your shiniest paper clip and put it on the bottom, because raccoons are obsessed with shiny things. And so what you'd have to do, what a raccoon would do is and you'd have to bury it so it didn't just run away with your can. But a raccoon would put his hand in the bottom, and when he grabbed it, he'd make a fist. And his fist would get stuck on these, so he couldn't get out. And there you go. Now you have your raccoon. The ways that a paper clip could help you could save your life are innumerable. You can make a clothesline, you could make a fishing net, you could make a knife. There's all sorts of things you can make. Everyone knows the key to survival is not losing your mind. You have to amuse yourself. And how could you be bored with a bunch of paper clips? I mean, you could bend a paper clip this way, making sure you have one long end, and then if you hit that down really hard, it'll flip. Then another thing you can do is, with that contraption you just made, put another paper clip on that long edge and fire it. And there's all sorts of other ones. You can make a kazoo, you could make sculptures, you could even make a bracelet. You could even make a bracelet to mark how many days you've lived. And I hope you enjoyed this week's episode on paper clips, the ultimate survival tool. Tune in next week for shoelaces, the ultimate outdoor cord.
Oh yeah!